Diann Overman with the Indiana County Veterans Providers Group, and our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Diann, good morning.
Good morning, Todd. How are you?
Wonderful, and it's good to have you with us.
Happy Easter.
And to you as well. It's good to have you with us here today as we talk about veterans issues here in Indiana County. And our topic today, we'll get you the opportunity here in a second or so to introduce the speaker who we hope calls in. She isn't on the line yet. But is veterans and homelessness, which people might not think is a great big hard issue in Indiana County, but it really can be, can't it?
It certainly can. Fortunately, we have a lot of safety nets here in the county for our veterans regarding homelessness. We have the Veterans Parsonage, which is privately funded, so they are able to guide under their own rules. That parsonage actually has been full for quite a while. So that is located here in Indiana. So anybody that would need a place immediately, that is the place we would send them. Mm-hmm. We also have the community gardens, which is HUD-subsidized housing. So that does have some regulations and some rules that they have to abide by. Vicki Vasali, who is part of our group, runs that community gardens, and that is managed through the NCCDC out of Johnstown. We currently have one apartment open. There are 6 there with one family unit, and we have one apartment open for a single veteran. So if anybody is looking for permanent housing or is experiencing homelessness, please they can contact my phone here at 724-471-7726. Call Human Services, call the Veterans Office here in Indiana County. Just about anywhere you're going to be able to get that information.
Yeah, so those are two different missions, really. The Veterans Parsonage is meant to temporarily give somebody a place to stay while they get themselves in a better position, whereas the other facility is actual long-term permanent housing.
Exactly, and what we do is we try to work with the veterans with our HUD-VASH vouchers here in the county. Through our housing authority, we have, I believe we had 29, but I think we just acquired 10 more within the county. Those HUD-VASH vouchers are earmarked just for veterans. Veterans are not placed on a waiting list, so they can go right to the top and be immediately housed and processed through the housing authority here in Indiana County. So that's great for us. We work closely with the VA. They first have to go through the Altoona VA to be approved, and they do have to work with case management when they are under those vouchers. Mm-hmm. But we do have quite a bit of them here in the county, so we are able to house veterans rather quickly.
Now, Emily, our guest who we're anticipating should be calling in and actually should be on the line with us right now, but is evidently having some problems with us or with that. She's with an organization called Soldier On. Now, they've been working with Indiana County for a long time, haven't they?
Absolutely. Soldier On has been at the table with the Veteran Providers Group since we began over 5 years ago. They do work with homelessness with veterans, and they try to transition veterans from homelessness to home ownership. They work closely with the VA under a grant with the SSVP program, and they try to anybody struggling with issues related around housing or health care or even substance abuse, they try to encompass all facets that veteran might be experiencing and work with them. And they work very closely with the VPG.
You know, it's interesting. I'm looking at what they say is their position statement on what Soldier On does. And boy, is it a varied thing. Housing, counseling, and searching. Benefits application assistance, financial planning, educational and employment guidance, transportation arrangements, legal referrals, daily living services, health care. There's just so much that they do. Fiduciary rep payee, I think that says. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of those things and even others in the temporary financial assistance category.
Right, and they are one of many groups that might encompass some of these services, but that's the kind of unique thing about the VPG is when any of our partners are working with a veteran and they have a barrier to housing, to health care, to needs within the home, keeping that veteran in their home, or even a caretaker that's taking care of a veteran whose health isn't well, they can simply just bounce that off of our feed, and within minutes they get sometimes 5, 7, 10 different resources. So even though Soldier On is working with all of many counties on the western side of the state here, when they're working with a veteran within our county, they have a lot of resources to fall back on right here in Indiana County. And that's really a big benefit, especially if you're a veteran here in this county.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, are they a national organization or regional, or how are they set up?
You know what? I don't know that answer, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been an Emily question, so I'm not sure about that. But they do have a website, so we might be able to find information. But I can give you their number. Mm-hmm. You may have that too, I know. But if you have any questions that when it comes to homelessness or transitioning into home ownership, they certainly would be there to help you. And their number is 1-866-406-8449.
Yeah. The website is actually wesoldieron.org. Wesoldieron.org. I'm looking at it right now, and they've got a nice website with different sections in there, including veterans programs, permanent housing, veterans outreach, women's program, and there's a site for folks who are of a mind too that they can actually donate to the organization. So wesoldieron.org. Is the name of the website, so folks can check them out there. Veterans issues in Indiana County are probably no different than veterans issues anywhere else, but this does give us a chance, Diann, to sort of highlight the fact that Indiana County recognizes so much that veterans are in need of special care and special services, and so Indiana County has stepped up to create that. Yours is not an agency that exists in many other counties in Pennsylvania, is it?
It's not. We are kind of unique in that way. A little bit of history is I was asked to come on with a grant way back when Bonnie Dunlap was the director at the Housing Authority here in Indiana County to work with HUD-VASH vouchers. And it was just a one-year grant, and we put together this group called the Veteran Providers Group, and we worked with it for a year. That grant did not get renewed, so the commissioners at that time really liked the work that we were doing, so they offered to bring me on at the county level as a consultant. And that's where I've been since then. And now we're up to about 75 partners that come to the VPG meeting. We are still meeting by Zoom. We're not meeting in person yet, but we are very unique in that way. And several counties have tried to create this kind of group, and I'm not sure why they haven't been successful with it. But I can say in our group, I certainly can speak to the fact that because the people that come to the VPG to work are very passionate about the work that they do with veterans, and they're very easy to work with. Our county director, Al Lockard, and many partners here at the Career Link, Du Bois Vet Center, Human Services, anybody that provides services in terms of housing, medical, employment, education, they come together on a monthly basis to coordinate those services so that we can better serve the veterans in our county. So I could not do it if I didn't have partners that weren't committed to coming monthly and, reaching out to the group when they need help. And it helps them in their work when they have all that support, at their hands, and they can quickly put out an email and say, hey, this is what I need for this veteran, and boom, we have it, just like that.
That's one of the interesting aspects of the Veterans Providers Group to me is because you have so many people who have their hands in on it, that you can very quickly pivot if agency A is not able to help somebody. Agency B, C, or D could very easily be the one that is in position to do that. And as long as everybody has an idea of what everybody's roles are, should be able to cover the entire gamut of issues that could come up.
It sure does. And here's a unique story. Like some of our partners even have skills beyond what they bring to their job when they're working with veterans. We have Steve Reinhold from MVO, which you've met. He's been on your morning show. And, he's an auctioneer. So sometimes he'll have excess, household items, and he'll reach out to the group and say, hey, I have batteries for hearing aids. Does any of your veterans need them? So, they bring other skills to the table, and we're able to share those things. And I just, I'm sometimes amazed just how it works so smoothly. And I'm very grateful because, again, if I didn't have the partners that, were willing and committed, it wouldn't work so well. So
now, Diann, why did the county reach out to you to come on board and help this? Do you have a particular concern for veterans, or are you just somebody who knows the ins and outs of dealing from agency to agency?
Well, I was the person that created the VPG. So when the grant ran out, it was just naturally I would just continue the group.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, Commissioner Ruddick was really involved in our group. So that's I kind of just transitioned into that position on the county level. I'm
You were the natural.
I'm a natural coordinator. I'm good. I am. My father was a veteran,
Uh-huh.
so he was a career military in the Air Force. So I kind of had some background with veterans. I'm not a veteran,
Mm-hmm.
so that is a difference when it comes to working with veterans. There is that separation